Okay, you go.
Are you eating the mic?
You gotta go, honey.
This is good content.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jess.
You're not allowed on the couch.
Hey guys, before we get started, I want to say that it helps a lot if you press the like and subscribe buttons, so if you could take a couple seconds to do that, I'd really appreciate it. Enjoy the show. I feel a little cramped.
Ends up making good B-roll to fill out time. It humanizes us. Hey guys, welcome to TnT. Today we are talking about Gabbie Hanna versus the world.
The internet.
Oh, what are you guys drinking, by the way?
Oh, I'm drinking peppermint tea.
I'm drinking lemon tea, which I feel like normally isn't on brand, but I'm giving it a shot.
Nice.
What you drinking?
So, it's a mystery. No, it's just like, it's jasmine.
All right, so you were going to take on...
I was going to be... I don't want to say anti-Gabbie. Was not a fan of her when I first looked.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand, I didn't have an influx of Gabbie content for 6 years. I didn't have Vine. I wasn't on Vine. I wasn't watching YouTubers. And so when I saw her, I think obviously everyone saw her for the first time with the monster meme. But
I think a lot of the internet saw her, but a lot of people already, like, she already had like 5 million subscribers at that point.
If you were part of like Vlog Squad and David Dobrik era, I think like you
not a fan.
See, that's not where I was introduced to her.
That's where I was introduced to her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't watch vlogs.
Makes vlogs.
Roast yourself. Your camera won't be recording 2 frames a second of post-processing, will it?
It's recording a lot. We've already covered like probably 600 megabytes at this point. It's
Good land!
I was introduced to her as a person, not a meme, on
For Saturday.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
And basically...
And it's Tuesday.
It's been 3 days. And I got all up in her grill because I'm a reactionary. And that's not just my problem. I think that's everyone on the internet's problem. Basically, the internet is designed to show you something and then make you react one way or the other. If it's a bad reaction, it gets more likes and more attention. And we're kind of all in it for the attention. I reacted badly to her. And it was a little hasty.
Is this turning into I'm sorry, Gabbie Hanna video?
I've acted out of impulse. I'm sorry.
Apology video.
I spoke way too soon. I'm so sorry, and I'll never do it again.
Someone get the close-up shot in the circle light.
I hurt real people.
Cut that out.
I saw her as kind of a reactionary person.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still see that in a lot of her videos. So the way I went about researching her is I watched the T channels first, which is probably a mistake.
Narrative.
And I watched the T channels, and then I kind of formed an opinion based on that. And then I went and I watched her explanation videos that you sent me.
Yep.
Both of them, which is pretty good for me.
Yeah. They're not 10 seconds long.
Yeah, I'm growing. And then I watched some people roasting her as like a balanced viewpoint. And then I came to my conclusion, which I won't say yet.
The drama with her started probably last year. The makeup brush, I think, makeup brush and monster thing was first.
Will you guys fill me in on the makeup brush? Because I didn't run across that at all.
Okay, so there's this...
this is when it's going to get
This is the tea.
It's getting real now.
All right, let's talk about Kenza Cosmetics. For $10 shipping, it's $1 a brush. So when I got the samples, I liked them. They're soft. I said this is something that I wouldn't mind showing my followers. Mostly confusing is people were calling it a scam days after they ordered, and the website was pretty clear about, you know, the shipping times are long. I believe it said between 10 and 21 business days, and then at one point it said that you wouldn't be getting your brushes till after Christmas, since, you know, they're free brushes and you're ordering free brushes. And then all these videos start popping up about me not caring about my fans and never having even held the brushes before.
So there's this website called AliExpress where a lot of people do
basically wish.com.
A lot of their stuff is really crappy. It ships for free. And so what people do is they'll buy like 300 makeup brushes from AliExpress and then they'll sell them in a markup. So that company apparently Someone said they got their makeup brushes from AliExpress and then basically resold them for free. You just have to pay for shipping, but they were crap brushes to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Gabbie Hanna got on that.
Yeah. So the story
Did they
that
sponsor her?
they basically were like, hey, would you be willing to do a video and we'll sponsor the video and you try like you can show like do a review of the brushes. And I don't think she does that a lot, but I think the reason she did it was just like these aren't great brushes, but they're $10 and you're getting like
10 brushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
It's pretty good.
in the makeup brush world, it's pretty good. And I think people
Doesn't $10 get you like one brush hair?
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
And I don't think her point was, wow, these are amazing. Everyone will love them. She's like, they're $10. They're pretty good for $10. But everyone basically blasted her because they took long to ship. I don't remember all the details, but like they took long to ship.
They took more than... People started roasting her 2 days after they ordered them. Nothing's going to ship in 2 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so it was obviously some of it was fake reviews. And then she posted a follow-up video saying, manage your expectations is her infamous quote.
We can talk about the quality of the brushes, which I've already covered. I think that they're worth about $1 a brush. These are actually very soft, movable, fluffy brushes. Now, are they these amazing, high quality, can't even believe it, great brushes? No. I also never said they were. What I said they were was free brushes, and all you had to pay for was shipping. So I'm not sure what quality people were expecting when they paid $10 for 10 brushes, and I'm genuinely sorry if anybody got their product and was disappointed in the product. But I would also add, manage your expectations a little bit.
Basically saying, you paid $10 for free brushes.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough.
That's the thing. It's fair enough.
And then the monster thing happened.
See, I don't really get that.
So, from my understanding
Yeah.
of it, she started producing music, right? Before she had been known on a YouTube channel for like, she would basically get on camera and do these story times where she'd tell the dramatic thing that happened
By
to
the
her.
way, those story times, I watched a few of them. They're straight up roasts. And I'm not saying she deserved what she got, because she didn't. But they were roasts.
Interesting.
Am I wrong?
Well, and they're entertaining. Are they not entertaining?
They're entertaining.
Yeah.
But they're roasts.
Yes, but
Yes.
you can also, she'll say she never makes those kind of story times anymore because she
I
doesn't.
think the last one was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Because basically what happened, which was the
growth.
next part that I was leading into, is she started to focus on music instead of story times.
Yeah.
Like,
And she
didn't
also-
want to be branded for that drama
She didn't want to be Brandon. She also like did some growing. She did some therapy. That wasn't really her anymore. She didn't feel like she needed to be the angry, like over dramatic, angsty
Yeah.
YouTuber.
Yeah, so she releases this music video around Halloween called Monster, and one of the lines of the song is, "What if I'm a monster?" And she like
pretty good.
screams, but the internet took that, and so basically the drama is around, she had this piece of work which she felt like was really good. The internet took it and they made it a meme.
And we're going to do a clip reel.
What if I'm the monster? 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 So what if I'm the monster?
The thing is, the problem wasn't so much the actual music video of her singing the song. It was the fact that she did like a interview style thing where she had to sing the whole song.
Genius.
Yeah, Genius. And the mic was off, and so everyone's like, oh, she can't actually sing that note.
So what if I'm the monster that's been here all along?
Because it sounds off because
Oh,
they
is that
used
why they roasted
two
her?
different cameras.
Oh.
And she asked them, like, please use this camera when
Yeah.
I'm doing this note because it's not gonna pick up on. I don't remember.
She basically blasted the microphone with a high note and it shut off, and then the camera mic picked up
Yeah.
her
And so it
actual
sounds
voice.
weird. And everyone basically roasted her for getting her, like, oh, you can't sing, you can't do that note right. And so they made a meme of it, and she actually thought it was really funny. She, like, got in on it. She's like, guys, this is so funny. But then people were like, no, you're not allowed to, laugh at this with it. And, like, they kind of, I think it was like, oh, yeah, I find this funny, too. But then people kind of like, no, you're not allowed to be
Weird.
happy about
Off-brand for the internet.
And that's kind of, I think that's kind of getting to the heart of some of the tea, is it looking from one perspective, it looks like, so from the internet's perspective, I'll try to represent this as best as I can. Guys, balance me out. From the internet's perspective.
You are the balance.
From the internet's perspective, it looks like, you know, Gabbie is producing all this, you know, crappy content and just trying to get attention. And so whenever she releases something new, it becomes like the new joke of the week for the internet. From Gabbie's perspective, she's releasing this content which she thinks is really good, but every time she puts something up, the entire internet, it feels like, is against her and roasts her.
Which is the internet. I'm not apologizing for the internet, but I'm just saying I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Do you feel like Josie? Come here, Josephine. Come here, Josie.
She just lays in her opinion. No.
I feel like it's, and I don't know what you think of this, but I feel like it's especially more so roasted in Gabbie's case than other people on the internet.
Yeah, that is one thing I noticed. She got 1 to 10. She got 15.
And the thing is, she didn't, and I think this is why I don't have a problem with the two response. Well, she technically, okay, you got.
Are you eating the mic?
You gotta go, honey.
This is good content.
Bye.
Bye, Jess.
You know, I'm not on the couch.
Close to me.
The thing is, if you look at Gabbie Hanna's track record and you look at Trisha Paytas' track record.
Trisha wins.
Trisha wins in the way she loses. And that's why I think and even there's videos where Trisha's talking about how Gabbie Hanna is crazy.
The only reason I hate, the only reason I disliked her for the reason I was like, what? And then she said she told David and all these people, I was like, okay, she's weird, she's crazy. On Drama Alert, she goes, I don't want drama. On Drama Alert, giving an interview about drama that happened 9 months ago. Crazy.
And I'm like,
yeah.
First of all, as someone you've been called crazy so much, I feel like you of all people shouldn't do that.
But also, to clarify, when we say crazy, we mean literally like accusing her of mental disorders, not just like, oh wow, I'm so crazy. I'm
she's crazy, Jerry.
I'm trying to remember the other one. Psychopath.
Sam's like, just to clarify, when we say crazy, we mean psychopath.
Trisha Paytas talks about how like Gabbie Hanna just needs to stop. Like, was obsessed with her.
That's literally Mean Girls.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Yeah. But also, like, Trisha has this video where she talks about how, I know that you ask people, like, if I talk about you because you're obsessed with me. And yeah, I do talk about you. I'm like, doesn't that mean you're obsessed with her too, though?
Right.
Like, you're talking bad about her. So you both are obsessed with each other. And my thing is, from what I understand, Gabbie Hanna was trying to literally stand Trisha Paytas and be like, hey, I'm here for you if you ever want to talk.
And she got railroaded.
Yeah. Which is especially funny because Trisha Paytas actually likes Gabbie Hanna's music.
That's even more ironic.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
Quiet the dog there, and you guys can keep talking.
Oh, well, I guess that's a question. What did you think about... you don't have to put her on blast, but what did you think of Gabbie Hanna's music?
I did not like Gabbie Hanna's music.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that comes from my artistic philosophy, though. I don't make art to express myself.
Yeah.
Before.
I think I've heard you say this, which I think that's very uncommon, though.
Making art to express yourself is sort of idolized in the same way that artists with mental disorders are idolized. But it's very obvious that she makes her art to express herself.
Yeah, I think she would say that. I would think she would say that.
I think she has said it. No one makes art when they're happy. Maybe some people do, but a lot of people don't. If you're happy, you're not making art. You're busy being happy. Because making art comes from...
You're basically referencing a Gabbie Hanna song right now, though.
Really?
There's one called Happy where she's like, I don't have any more content because I'm happy.
So my personal philosophy is when you make art to express yourself, the worst emotions come out. And they're like, I just really wanted to express myself. And it's like a black splotch with red eyes. Something about making art to express yourself pulls the worst emotions out of you. And if you look at her music videos, I think I maybe saw one happy one. Actually, no, I didn't. Probably the one that you suggested that I didn't watch.
I suggest you not watch one?
Happy? No, the one that you suggested I watch that I didn't watch.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the one.
I feel like she is getting happier, though. Like, I feel like if you, like, even Call Me Crazy.
The Maid one?
Yeah. Because Call Me Crazy, Shut Me Up are, like, the two newest ones. I think I disagree, though, which I think is the point of this whole thing. I think it's cool that you have found a thing where you don't need, like, you don't need to live off of those emotions to make art. But I think a lot of really awesome art has come out of people with going through things. And I think
You're not wrong.
Your style really works for you. I think
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you are not the majority.
No. So, I don't know. I just not a big fan of her art, and she said that you don't have to be.
Yeah.
You know, she expects that, and I think the boundary crossing was when people started attacking her herself, not her art.
But also, people have even I think people took her poetry books way too seriously.
You think it was supposed to be a joke?
Not so much a joke, but some of them are supposed to be just really light and kind of like, well, that's just funny. And people were like, no, that's not what art is. This isn't what poetry is. Like, have you read Lord Byron? And they expected it to be this thing when she was kind of going for, who is that?
E.E. Cummings?
No.
Shel Silverstein.
Yeah. She was kind of going for that vibe. And that's...
I can see that.
Yeah. The funny thing is there's some poems in there that people really hate that I think are really good. But again...
Did you buy the book?
I haven't actually bought it.
Should we buy the book?
I feel so bad that I actually haven't bought either of her books.
Let's buy the book.
There's two.
Let's buy a book.
A book.
We'll
You're like, I'm not buying both. There is one poem in one of her books that's like, it's called Relative. In your research, did you find this one?
I didn't actually read her poetry, which is why I haven't come after her poetry.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I haven't.
I'd be curious what you think.
We'll buy her book. And then I'll read them and then come back.
And either way, it's promoting her book.
This is the thing. This is publicity.
Yeah.
We're doing her a favor.
Free
The
publicity.
20 people subscribed to this channel will watch this video and they don't know about her.
Here's the thing, though. I have a question. Would you feel okay if someone's idea of someone... Could you look at promotion as someone roasting your art?
Could I accept that as promotion?
Yeah.
I think, honestly, it would be flattering because I'm an attention hog. Oh, it depends how famous they are. If I was famous, I think it could be like Judy Blume getting happy that her books were being censored.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, she's like the most
Interesting.
censored American author, I think.
Huh. The interesting thing, though, is I think our goal here is not really to make
A judgment.
or bash people, although maybe that's happened in this process.
I feel like we kind of put Trisha on blast.
You want to know something really interesting, though? Even though I'm pro Gabbie in the Gabbie Hanna versus Trisha Paytas argument, here's the thing. I actually I weirdly do, like, I kind of am with Gabbie. I don't stan Trisha. I'm not that big of a fan. But, like, I don't want her to disappear.
I don't think I want anyone to disappear.
No, do you know what I mean? I don't, like, her content is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Not all of it. I have not seen most of her content.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And the problem with cancel culture is that it's like we're all asked to either say someone is a role model or they should be destroyed.
Yeah.
Which isn't fair to anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people aren't just one thing.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Like, while I really like Gabbie Hanna, and I will continue to like her music and her art and all the things that she puts out, because honestly, Gabbie, you feel like a friend. That's the thing. That is the problem. It's like, you have to choose one thing or another. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I like that thing. I like that thing. I think that's really wrong. I think that was a bad... Like, I think some of the things that Gabbie did was a bad decision. And I think she would probably agree with that.
I think I talked through all my tea.
Yeah, I drank
Yeah.
through all my tea.
Yeah, mine's gone.
Guys, the tea is cold.
The tea's cold. Holy mackerel.
Oh, she's right down there.
Have you guys heard of Hilaria Baldwin?
No.
That apparently Alec Baldwin married a fake Latina.
I have not heard this.
And we're going to take a week and do some research on
Yeah,
that.
we'll
Yeah.
get to the...
Honestly, that's the most Alec Baldwin I can think of.
Marrying a fake Latina. I don't know if she's actually fake or if the story is fake. We'll tuck that away for next time. Should it be a Thursday thing?
I don't feel like we were as contrary to each other.
No,
as
we need to pick
be.
something that we can fight about.
Yeah. I can think of things.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think about Gabbie Hanna versus the world in the comments below. Please be nice.
Please.
And also, if you guys have any suggestions for any other topics that you'd like us to cover, leave those in the comments as well.
We need the tea.
We need all the tea.
Tell us the tea. Join us again next Thursday for the next episode of TnT. Nice. Good job,
We got
guys.
options.
That was
Every
really
day
good, I
of the
We don't
think.
have to be criminal. Do we need to...
B-roll.